is Julia, and yeah, this relate to a lot of what Ben just said. It was a massive learning experience. For me, it was pretty good timing because at the time I was just starting at a placement where I was doing online music therapy for older adults with dementia. So it kind of was a good introduction to that kind of format, even if it wasn't technically music therapy. The application of music in an online setting, specifically on Zoom, was very pertinent. So to what I was about to do. So it was a very big learning experience. And like Ben said, Laurel has a ton of experience with this population. And so I was really eager to, see what kind of musical experiences we were going to be doing and how that could be adaptable to music therapy setting with older adults with dementia. And that's exactly what happened. She provided a lot of inspiration and a lot of education in terms of, experiences or, session plans that could work in both just a music aesthetic appreciation situation or in a clinical context, and either in person and online. So a lot was learned in such a very short amount of time. Definitely also was learning a lot about just how Zoom can be used to its full benefits in this kind of context. So of course, Ben and I did all our classes online due to the pandemic during the time, but still, implementing music online was very specific. And so we learned a lot about what works, what doesn't really work, and having that kind of team, the three of us working together was very helpful, and gave a lot of, shed a lot of light on, how sessions could go in a sort of clinical context, in an online setting. It was a very interesting experience, not to put it so blandly, but it was very interesting. And it was very fun too. It was very fun to see, to get to know the participants a little bit, to kind of see how, people can connect to music through their computers, especially, I think that, there was this idea in my head of what it would be like for older adults in this context, because I myself listen to music on my computer probably every day and all day, and it was interesting to see how people who may not be so accustomed to listening to music in this regard, now of course that's just an assumption I made, but how they were able to connect to it. So I thought that was very interesting. Something that surprised me, I will say, was definitely what Ben said regarding the ability that we kind of connected with the participants and how they kind of connected with each other in such a short period of time. One thing I was kind of pleasantly surprised by was how they sort of formed a dynamic as a group, even though they were never in the same room with each other. That is inevitable. I've seen group work in person, I've seen it online. It just sort of happens, and it's always an interesting surprise. And, people sort of, I won't say fill in roles, but there is a kind of sense of a role being formed within a group. So that was really, really interesting to see. And yeah, just being able to transcribe the interviews was a really another educational experience, but also kind of a pleasure just to really dig in deep to the unique experiences of all the participants and how they may have, how they may have had similar experiences without even really knowing it, and how they also were very, very different and unique from one another, giving their context, backgrounds, and their own personal interests. So yeah, that's all I have to say. It was a great experience. So thank you so much.